All right.
On the call.
Ooh, I hope we were ready to record.
We are ready. Well, welcome everyone to tonight's call. If you're catching it live or you're catching the recording of it, tonight's gonna be short and sweet. We are just going to talk about just some tools that you can use in your business to make it that much more simpler to do. So we all know that in our business, like the one thing, well, I'm going to pose it as a question, like, we get paid basically on how many times we tell the Arbonne story. So telling the Arbonne story, like we want to make sure that it's duplicatable and that everyone's telling it the same way. So for instance, like if someone I know were to sit down with me, they would, hear about product and business, but wouldn't that be terrible if someone sat down with Polly and they just heard that they have a really good lip balm, and that's happened, and so we want to make sure that everyone's doing it the exact same way. And I always give the example of whether you love Starbucks coffee or you hate it, that if you drink Starbucks in Birmingham, Alabama or Orlando, Florida, it's going to taste exactly the same because that's their brand. Like they have, it's how they do it. It's their recipe. So the simplest way that we have for sharing the story is using our one pager, and it's on our team website. And that's just a good, it's just a good way for us to share product and business. And I know when I first started this business, like I would just share product with people, and I would actually be embarrassed to share the business because I would like prejudge people, and I'd be like, oh, they're not going to be interested. Like, I just want to share products and get them on the products. But I quickly realized, I remember there was this one time specifically, I was driving down to Montgomery, Alabama, which was an hour and a half away. And I was driving down with my sponsor's sponsor in her Mercedes. And I told her we were going to this girl's house who was hosting for me. And she had invited all her neighbors and everything. And they lived in this great neighborhood. And so when we were on the way down there, I told Jan, I said, hey, listen, no one's going to really be interested in the business. So if we can just like focus on the products, like that'd be awesome. She pulled over on I-65, stopped the car and said, if you're telling me not to talk about the business, I'm turning this car around right now. There's no need for me to go. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's, you can, but, just be kind of like, don't be so obvious about it, blah, blah, blah. And I specifically remember that. I think if she didn't pull the car over to this, I wouldn't remember this conversation, but I specifically remember this conversation. And I remember like being like, oh my gosh. And then I remember sitting in the presentation being like, oh, great, here she goes with the business, and like, I could not imagine doing that now, like in my business. Like, I mean, like, I feel like the business is our best product, but of course, like I do a balance, I do product and business, and then I see where that person falls. Well, the easiest, I guess the simplest and the most duplicatable way to do that. And does that make sense when I say duplicatable to everyone? We want to know that again, like, here in the United States, we're all doing it the same way as the people in Australia, like it's, so if you're following a script, then that it's going to duplicate. And this is one thing in social marketing. If you're new to this industry, you should never ask yourself if something works. So, you don't be like, oh, does it work when we send samples, or does it work when we, do this? You should always ask yourself, does that duplicate? Like, that is the number one thing to know if you're going to be successful in this business, like to have a successful business. So the best way we have for doing that is doing the one pager, because that keeps you on task and, on your, like following a script. But we're finding that these days that some people, don't have time. I mean, people, as we're going through with technology and everything else, people's attention spans, I don't know if you can relate to this, but they're dwindling. Like when I first started, we would easily do a presentation. I'd be at someone's house for 3 hours, Then it started getting quicker and quicker and quicker. Now we do a Zoom call. Sometimes people don't have 20 minutes, and like we do that presentation in 15 minutes. So we came up with a tool that basically will do the same thing for someone says to you, can you send me some information? Like, that's always the thing when people say that. Before I kind of panic and be like, oh my gosh, yes, I'll send you some information, like I'd be like, what am I going to send them? So then I'd like have this long text go out, Arbonne's a 41-year-old company that, and it's like, no one wants to see that either. So what we did, and I'm going to share the screen with everyone. Let's see, y'all, all my shopping tabs are up. Okay. So I know that you all have seen the s'more. And I just want to make sure that like we like, you know, make a clarification on what this is. So this is something that I text people. So when I text people, let's see, I'm gonna show you one of them that I've texted. Well, one that I texted to myself to Manuel. All right, now my phone is frozen. So come on. Still frozen. All right. Andrea. Oh, frozen. Okay. Well, basically what happens is you get a little thumbnail that looks like this, like you see like kind of half of this. You can text it to people. So I want to show you something. It would be great if everyone could have their own starting out video here, but not everyone's ready for that. And we don't want to wait on that. Like you don't want that to be the reason why you don't have like your s'more all put together. So like basically what we do is like, if you see this, like my video is done in a way that like says, you know, get with the person who invited you, you know, who sent you this, you know, like you want it to be very like, you know, I don't make it about like, join my team, you know, hear what I have to say. Like, it's all about like, get with the person who invited you to this s'more, blah, 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 all that sort of thing. So it's done in a way that it's no different than having the videos that we have down here of these other people. Like, it's not weird that they're on there, right? So like what this is basically, if we send that to people, you know, this just gives a little bit about the brand. And I think the overall look just kind of like speaks for itself, you know, just like a fresh, clean look. It gives you a little bit about the products. You click here for the products. So like, and that's the one thing I want to go into in a second. So, you know, vegan skincare, plant-based nutrition. So they're just like looking at products they're doing here. And then here's a little bit about the business. And then there's these videos here. Now look at this right here. This is Jean's. We did hers last night. So now it says, let's connect. Here's her email address, her phone number, her Arbonne website. And if you press start shopping, you go directly to Jean's website. So I have a lot of people who are sending mine out, which is fine. And not that this has happened, but you don't want people to be shopping on my website. I mean, we're fishing, right? Every day we're fishing. So if I'm reaching out to 5 new people every day and doing 5 follow-ups a day, and some of these things I'm sending out to, you know, people, like, I know that eventually people are going to be like playing around on this and probably ordering and, you know, doing all kinds of things. So you want it to be yours. I will say though, I'm not going to chase down everyone and be like, you know, hey, so-and-so, did you update, you know, did we get together yet to do your s'more? Hey, so-and-so, we really need to do your s'more. I'm busy, just like I'm sure you're busy, and Polly's busy, and Gabby's busy, and Blanca's busy, like everyone's busy, you know, but the thing is that if you want this done, because we have hundreds of people on our team, hundreds. And like, I'm not going to just like selectively, like, you know, I'm not going to become a s'more maker. Like, that's not what I signed up for, you know, but I do want to help you have your own personalized one. And we've got an account that we can do that in. So if you're out there listening to the recording, or if you're live and you're listening to this and you want this done, get with your, you know, your RVP. So whether that's me, Polly, or Gabby, or Yin, get with your RVP and they can go ahead and, you know, get this done for you. So, so I want to show you. So does that make sense so far, what I'm telling everyone? Because
Yes.
there was some confusion earlier in the week.
Andrea, I got a question, sorry.
Yeah.
In the little video, we're gonna do the eye story, right? Our eye
So
story.
what I'm saying is this, Blanca, like basically if you were a consultant and like, yes, we're going to replace my video for your video, but you don't have your video done yet, right? So we're not going to wait on that. Like, I'm not going to say,
I did one, but I was like, since my accent is very heavy in some words, I was listening to like, no, it doesn't sound that
do you know that the top income earners accent is very heavy? She's from Brazil, Cecilia Stoll, she's Brazilian. And that didn't seem to stop her. So don't worry about that. Like, you're going to be your toughest critic.
Okay.
I'll look at it with you and see.
Okay.
But like, your people are going to want to see you. Now, if you're not, if you don't feel like if you don't feel like your video is awesome and like ready to go, then that's okay. Use mine. And we're going to go ahead and at least make one personalized to you with all your information on here. And then when you do feel comfortable to do your video, you do your video and then we attach it to here. But at least in the meantime, you're using something with your name on it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like with your link and all of that. So like, you don't want to, you don't want to wait until like, because I mean, I know how it is with me to shoot a video. I'm like, I want to wait, am I having a good hair day? Like, do I have a breakout? Do I, like, do I have time? Like, I mean, just all the, like, it's like, I'm waiting for all the stars to align to do my video. And it's like, we have this saying where done is better than perfect, but you can have done just by changing your name and all of that sort of thing on there. And again, that's not mandatory. You can send mine out, but I'm just saying that like, it's better to have your information on there in case, because if you are reaching out to 5 people a day and doing 5 follow-ups a day, again, you're fishing, you're casting your line out there, 25 times a week, someone is going to click on the link and like order on their own. So, and I mean, and then multiply that over a year, there's going to be thousands of people that you've sent this to, that you want, like what you want it to be your information. Now I want to show you something else. The links that you press here, let's see if this is like open in the file. I don't know if that'll go there, but like if they press on vegan skincare, it'll take you to like, I want you to see like let me just go through the website to show y'all. We have been working really hard on getting this website just to be everything we want it to be. Initially when we had this website years ago, it was for us as consultants to like, our team resources section. Like that's kind of what the point of this website was. Well, now this is outward facing, meaning that we use this as a prospecting tool. We use this to educate people on the 30-day. So we want it to look like, we want it to be reflective of Arbonne and like fresh and, very like hip and just we've got it going on, and we do, y'all. Like, look at this. So this right here is our landing page where we get on to like, so let's say you send that s'more out to someone and they start looking at this, here's everything that they need to give them information on the 30-day. So I was having a conversation with someone yesterday about this. You're not the message. We are just the messenger. We are literally like paid and grow a business through connecting to other people, so it's like, I don't make up a new Arbonne story like the story is the same, and like, I don't have to create a story about Arbonne. I can just send them this or do the 1-pager with them. Does that make sense? So it's not up to me with what the story is, because the story is the same, but I need to like connect with other people to get the story in people's hands. Does that make sense? And so this website so the s'more, which is then connected to the website, is a great way to, when you're prospecting people, when you're talking with people, that they can see all about Arbonne. So maybe they come here for nutrition and they look at the 30-day. So look, we've got the 30-day community here and then the 10-day. Everything they need for the 30-day, you can see here. I mean, it looks so good, So if they're starting to like, let's say they come here for nutrition, but they're like, oh, clean beauty. I didn't know Arbonne had clean beauty, and then they start like nosing around here. They see this, and then they can go here for vegan skincare, and then all the skincare lines are here. If y'all see this here, and there's like interactive videos and all of that sort of thing. So this is like, again, we want to catch people, like, so like maybe they look at start an Arbonne business. And this one I've got to finish. I mean, it's good the way it is now, but we're going to add a couple things to it. But like, see, like, so maybe they're coming on here for nutrition, but they're like, what? There's a business side to Arbonne? And they start like researching themselves. You see what I'm saying? And then like the monthly specials. So all of that to say, like, this isn't like a long training. I don't need to like belabor this or anything like that, because I think it's pretty simple to grasp. But the point being is these tools, like, we're taking our time to make this to grow our teams. We're taking our time to like have these things. So like, I'm getting that s'more out like crazy, and like, I was so motivated to get that website done because I knew that I was getting that s'more out to people and they were going to be checking. In fact, something so funny, my oldest daughter just came back from college and she gets to ride home with this one girl. And like, the girl was here the last time at Thanksgiving and she used the bathroom, and you have to go through my office to get to the bathroom. And she's like, oh, she's like, do you sell some kind of product? And of course, Claire is there, and like, just like, so I'm just like, yeah, actually I do. And so then when she came this last time, she said, she dropped Claire off and she was here hanging out for a little bit. And she's just like, she's like, I think I'm actually curious about Arbonne, of course, Claire, I was like, well, I can, how about this? I send something to you through Clara, and you can check it out. She's like, yeah, I think my mom is, she's like, we're interested in doing that 30-day that I saw on your desk. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Okay, well, I'll just, and I could play it cool. Like I didn't have to be like, oh my God, let me tell you about the 30-day. The 30-day is 30 days where you go gluten, dairy, corn, soy, processed sugar for 30 days. You introduce it, you're gonna get your energy up. Like I didn't have to do that. I just have to be like, hey, why don't I send you some information about that? And then like my daughter wasn't so annoyed either because I played it so cool, and so like that's the thing is she's going to look at this stuff and she's going to find out. I didn't have to tell her, hey, we also have skincare, like, or why don't you try this? Like she's going to see that when she sees that that s'more, she's going to see like on our website and plays around on our website that there's all of these other things that Arbonne has to offer. I didn't have to tell her. Does that make sense? But it's done in a cool way. So with that, does anyone have any questions about that? Because we're going to be rolling out so many more tools just that makes your business easier. Once you do get your s'more together, I would suggest putting it on your boards. So like you're not like sending the wrong s'more out. Like, so like, again, like if someone's like, send me more information. Like I had a one-on-one this week with someone in person. And afterwards, I sent them the s'more. I just said, hey, thanks. It was so great catching up with you and meeting and showing you this. Here's some more information. I know you're interested in doing a 30-day in January, and I sent him that. And so it's awesome because it's up to him now what he wants to see, but he's already seen the one pager too. And like, in just one other thing I want to point out is that we always talk about it's multiple exposures over a short period of time. So again, just like I mentioned, I did the one pager with someone, with my Mercedes guy. Like I've known him for years. He's amazing. And so, and I've been asking him for years. And so we finally got together and we sat down, got right down to business, did the one pager, left him with some samples. I texted him as I was leaving and just said, hey, I know you're interested in doing 30-day. Would love for you to, check this out, whatever. Okay, well, that was 3 exposures right there. Like 1, we met, I did the one pager. 2, I left him with samples. 3, I sent him the s'more. So there's 3 exposures. So when I call him tomorrow, I guarantee you he'll be ready to order. Because it takes about 3 to 5 exposures for someone to make a decision about the products and about, 5 to 100 to make a decision about the business, So all of that to say, does anyone have any questions about this? And about using this?
It looks amazing.
It does look so good. I mean, it really is like such a simple way to just where we're not. And again, I know like when people are first consultants, like when they first sign up, there's the saying like vomiting Arbonne all over people. Like this helps you where you don't have to even worry about that because like it's like you're sending them the right amount of information and you're letting them kind of look around and see what they're interested in,
Yeah.
and it's
So
going to
good.
help you grow a team and duplicate as well.
So good.
So does anyone have any, this is a small group tonight. So if y'all have questions about this or something else, like let's hear them.
I love it. I love it. Is everybody in the Healthy Habits Club also? Good. Awesome. And we're revamping the 30-day as well. But Andrea did all the work on the website, so don't let her fool you. She did all that.
Well,
it looks incredible.
It was so fun. I mean, it really was. Like I've been obsessed with it, like staying up late, waking up early, like literally it's getting me out of bed in the morning. But y'all, it makes me so excited because it's making it a tool that everyone can use and be proud of. And it's doing all the things we want it to do. But the thing is that that's not going to work if you don't get it out there, and you're not going to get it out there if you're not doing your reach outs, like it's just like you can like drill it down. And the thing is too, I was having a conversation with someone last week about this. What you do now, like I know December is a weird month where like, it's people aren't getting back to you maybe, or they're busy, but that doesn't stop you for what you're doing anyway. Like we have a saying in Arbonne, you attach yourself to the activity, not the outcome. So I'm still doing 5 reach outs a day and 5 follow-ups a day, whether they're calling me back or not, whether they're responding or not. That if they're not responding, I'm not like, oh, well, no one's responding. It's December. I'm just going to not do it. No, because I mean, I am getting a few responding, but what you do now is going to be evident in the next 90 days. So like, if you want a really good spring, like just be consistent. And like, that's the thing with this business. The key to this business is just consistency. So whether you're like, I only have 10 minutes a day, or I have an hour a day, like whatever that is, just do it every day. And I know that I've been talking with a lot of people lately, and you've heard this analogy, but I mean, it's just like brushing your teeth. Like, I don't hop on here and say, y'all, I brush my teeth on the first of the month. I don't do that. Like, I brush my teeth twice a day. Like I've got to do it every single day to have like healthy teeth, and so it's the same thing. Like, I mean, it's the same thing with your business. It's not like
It's
you
like
can
working
say,
out.
yeah,
too.
like exactly, like working out. It's not like you say, like again, I worked out really hard on November 1st, check me out. So I mean, if it were only that easy.
I
So
know.
like that's the thing, is the consistency, and I know with a couple of you are working on that, but that is key. And like, I always try and break it down to what could I do in a day if the world was blowing up around me, and I think about that from when I first started, and my kids, I had a newborn, a less than 2-year-old, and my husband was not there because he was working nights, and it was just insane. It was crazy town. But the thing is I would think, well, what can I do every day, like if everyone had the flu, and if like there was no one here in town to help, and it like would think about that, and it was like, back then for me it was like 3 things a day. I can do 3 things a day to push my business forward, 3 income producing activities a day. And so like, that's kind of like what I think now about my 5 and 5. Yes, it's the holidays, yes, my oldest daughter's home. Yes, we just moved, like closed on our lake house and then moved. And then, yes, we had like just all this stuff going on this month, but I could still do my 5 and 5, like it, and it might not have been that I was booking phone calls like crazy, like I was backing them up to like when I was more available, but I was still doing like the 5 and 5 every day, because that was doable. But that's what's driving my business forward. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would say too, like, don't forget about things that you could do at gyms. I know, Angela, you work at a gym, serving protein bites and fizz and things like that. I was telling Andrea, I was in Eunice, Louisiana, and we did a little holiday fair, and we just got names and numbers. Like, but we started reaching out and following up. This was with Paige on my team, and we did a call Friday, and it was just a regular call, like just like any other call. And then we found somebody totally interested in the business, somebody she didn't know, would never have met if we hadn't done that table. So like, don't forget about things like that too, where you can just kind of, like Andrea always says, cast a wide net, fish in a wider pond. And I know right now for me, I am like crazy. I'm asking people, I'm sending stuff saying, hey, I'm just getting my list together for people to contact who might be interested in doing, a reset in January. Would you like for me to put you on my list? Yes, because I'm just gauging interest, and it's just one little touch, and I'm getting a yes. And so then I'm like, hey, let me send you this, let you check this out. I'll follow up with you on this day. So they're thinking about it. So you just really got to be planting those seeds, and you don't have to like close something today. You just have to plant a seed. And just so think like that, think big picture. Like, let me reach out to everybody possible that I can possibly make happen, just to ask them, would they like for me to contact them again, after the holidays? And most people are saying, sure, yeah, put me on your list, check back with me, so.
Mm-hmm. And, I heard something really interesting. This is from a training the other day. I don't know if y'all have heard this training or not. It was on the Saturday Skills. It was a recent one. It was really good. But, well, one thing I want to say, like when Polly talked about doing things at gyms and stuff, I texted Blanca, I guess it was on Friday. I don't know what her real name is. Hell to the Mel. Yeah. I always forget her name, but because I just call her that in my head. But anyway, she was at a Hot Works, what those are, like those little small little studios, like workout things. And she had a table set up where she was serving fizz and protein, and it was an honor story. And she's like, love what I do or whatever. Okay, she's an EMVP. And she's at this tiny little Hot Works, which is probably in Suburbanville, wherever, Kansas, and she's doing that. And it's not like that is going to drive her business. But if she does enough of those, she's going to meet the right person. And that's what it is. And I heard this great analogy on a training that I listened to. And they said, okay, what if Tyler, our the CEO of the company, what if he completely changed the compensation with Arbonne? And what if he said, from now on, I'm going to pay you $1,000 for every person you tell the Arbonne story to, so let's just pretend like that's the case, not if they say yes or no, like anything of that, just telling the Arbonne story, you'd have the potential. I mean, you could easily make $30,000 this month, talk to someone every day about Arbonne, and it's kind of like, think about that. Like, that is our business, it's like, we don't get paid for that directly, but that really is how you should look at this, is that, like, don't attach yourself to the outcome, attach yourself to the activity, because I'm telling you, if you do enough of the activity, the outcome that you want is going to come, but you have to do it when things aren't looking good. And you have to do it when no one's looking. And like, a lot of it doesn't only determine, like, it's not just doing the reach outs. It's about minding your mind. Like, if I'm in the shower, I'm listening to a podcast, like, if I'm going to bed, I'm reading 10 minutes before I go to bed every single night. And like, some nights that's really hard because I'm really tired by the time I get in bed, but it's like, I'm filling myself with good things to hear and listen to and to read, because it's like, I've got to mind my mind, because I do have it where I show up at a Starbucks and the person I'm supposed to meet isn't there, or I log on to my Zoom and the person that I'm supposed to be Zooming with doesn't show, like, I have those days too. I'm just not posting about it on social media, but believe me, it happens. And so I have to be minding my mind. And that is part of like where my success comes from, is because I'm minding my mind to like keep me like in the game. And then doing the 5 and 5 is like what like just keeps like the rhythm going, if that makes sense. So that's really just what I wanted to leave y'all with, is just to really like just check out, again, get with a person, your RVP, so they can customize yours for you. Because it really does take me about 10 minutes I make sure I do it when I'm on the phone with them, so I can get like all their information and switch that over. But you want to make sure that like you make an appointment with them so they can do it with you, and then just go from there, because then you'll have it. And don't worry about if you have your video or not yet. Like, that's not what it's intended for. I mean, I didn't intend every single person to like have their own video. I know eventually, people who are districts and higher probably will, but for now, at least just get your name on there, and then use the stew out of it.
Yay.
So, yeah.
Love it.
All right. Well, hey everyone. I was thinking about I know next week that Sunday is going to be like right after Christmas. I know people are going to be traveling and everything. I was figuring that we would just go ahead and take that week off. Does that sound good does that work with everyone? I mean, I can certainly hop on if someone needs a call, but I just figured that like people are going to be traveling and, still Christmas with families and all of that sort of thing. And that we can just pick back up like in the new year. Unless we have like a special call or something like that.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, everyone's so quiet on here.
I know, quiet night.
For sure.
Well, my son is engaged, everybody.
Exciting.
I'm so excited. Sorry, had to say that.
How old is your son?
He's 27. And he's been dating,
my God,
they've been dating for 5 years, and they live together now in San Antonio. And we've been waiting and waiting, but he does everything in his own time. He's an engineer, so everything's very much in a row and very scheduled and very planned. But he finally did it today. Yes, Christiana, yes. One step more towards grandbabies.
That's so
all right. So
I'll
leave y'all with that thought. But hey, y'all, don't forget, Healthy Habits Club, add people in. We'll be talking about the 30-day. We've got a brand new revamped 30-day group coming at you. It's going to be so awesome. It's going to streamline like our website, which is so awesome. So these tools, like you guys, your business is going to be so efficient. Let's
Yeah,
go,
I mean,
go, go.
it's funny because I think back to like before we had any of these tools, like literally it was like scheduling a phone call, meeting with someone, like booking a presentation, showing up to the presentation, lugging all your stuff. I mean, it was just like, now it's just like, you can pop something over and like that, them poking around the website through this more, like could be saving me so much time because I could be vetting people, like the people who do call me back, like they are interested because they've seen something already, so you're just saving yourself time and leveraging your time, which is what this is all about. So, all right. Quiet group. I hope y'all have a very Merry Christmas. And I'm sure I'll be talking to y'all some this week.
All right.
All
Bye,
right,
everybody. Merry
Feel
Christmas.
better, Gabby.
Merry
Bye, guys.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.